host Vedant here. Today we have a very special guest on this channel. Any guesses? Well, the person is none other than my inspiration to start this channel, Genius Apple. So welcome Genius Apple to this channel.
Thank you so much, Vedant, for inviting me. It's an amazing privilege. I hope I enjoy this as much as the viewers will. I know they will. 110%.
A huge thanks to Genius Apple for accepting my request. So, if you don't know who Genius Apple is, he is an avid reader who has a booktube channel where he reviews many different kinds of books, whether it is fiction or non-fiction. He believes that every book has its own magic, its own charm. And that's what you're going to see on this channel. So, without any further delay, let's just start this video. So the very first question that comes to my mind is that why did you keep your channel's name as Genius Apple? And our viewers are very keen to know your views.
I know so many people have asked me that question, and I've told so many people. They just keep asking. The reason for that is at that point, I just for some reason wanted to have a fruit in my channel's name. There has to be a fruit. I started experimenting with pineapples, oranges, and then I came to choose an apple. And I was like, I'm gonna keep it genius because that's what you become when you read books. It's as simple as that. That's just it's had fun, like naming something weird.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. Great. So Genius Apple is my inspiration. So I would like to know who's your inspiration.
All right, that is an excellent question. Now, see, I never actually had an inspiration to start YouTube, but if you want to know my inspiration for my life, I would say the tennis player Andre Agassi. He is perfect example for inspiration for me, and for me, he's like the perfect person. Everything about him is great. He's a lovely tennis player, and he went through lots of struggles to get to where he was and become the number one player in the world. So for me, he is my life's inspiration, though not really anyone on YouTube.
Okay. I know you have also reviewed one of Andre Agassi's books. That is
Yeah, that was open. Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed reading that.
Whoa, great. So there are a lot of teens out there in the world who do not read books. So can you suggest some fictional books for them? That'll be great if they were to read them.
Okay, so obviously the biggest problem with me is I read a lot of series. I do not like reading individual books. So when people ask me for recommendations, I give like this massive 8 book series and they are like, why? So for me, simply, I just gotta say, first of all, my biggest recommendation to everyone, Artemis Fowl. Of any ages, it can be suitable for almost anyone who can read. And if you enjoy it, if you can grasp the concepts that go on in the book, it's a wonderful read. Another one is another common one I just keep talking about is the Hunger Games series, but that again comes under an age category which is probably above the age of 12 or 13 because it has a little bit of gore and fighting in it. Now, a series which I don't usually talk about on my channel, or I've never actually recommended it to anyone because I just started reading it. It is Conspiracy 365 by Gabriel Lord. And it's a collection of 12 books which are not very big, like maybe 86, 286 pages or something, 100, about 150. And they're like January, February, March, April, May, June, all the way till December. And it talks about a kid's life who is falsely accused of some criminal activity. And he's now a 15-year-old who's living on the streets all alone. And he's being chased by 2 different gangs who want a secret that his father had left for him before his father died. So the entire thing is just a thrilling masterpiece, and I'm just on July. I'm not even finished with the series yet, and I just know it's amazing. So that's
Wow.
just about it.
Well, I guess I you reviewed one of uh, the conspiracy books, one of the conspiracy books, which is January, I guess.
Yeah, I had just started reading it at that point, and then I didn't read it for a long time, so I just got into it again, and I'm liking it so much.
Great. So, Genius Apple, this is the most important question of this video. The question is, what advice would you give to a bookworm who's planning to start a booktube channel?
Okay, if you're planning to start a booktube channel, first thing is consistency. You may not be getting views, people may not be watching your videos, people may not be liking your videos, ignore all of that. You have to make sure that the people who do watch your videos, know that what you are doing is something you enjoy. So all you have to do is just make everyone realize that obviously you're going to make a channel on something you enjoy. So make them realize that you have as much fun in doing what you're doing as they are watching it, so that they feel your energy. And obviously consistency is key. You have to upload even once a week is fine, as long as people know that your video is going to be coming out on Tuesday 8 p.m., Wednesday 8 a.m., or some specific time, because at that point 10 or 15 people could be waiting to watch your videos. And it's just super interesting at the end of the day to connect with even a small audience, because even a small audience of interested people is much better than a larger audience of completely uninterested people. So just make sure you remember that you need to make them know you love what you're doing.
Wow, that's a wonderful advice that you have just given. So I'm very, very, very curious to know that who inspired you to read books?
Okay, so the first books for me obviously were bought by my parents and not like those small children books like Cinderella and Snow White. I mean, like my first actual reading books were Enid Blyton, like her collection of short stories. They were just absolutely amazing and I really, really liked them. But I feel like no one can inspire you to read books. You need to feel a book, because you can't just grab any book and hate it and then say, I hate all books. You need to have a specific book for yourself. So you on your own get inspired to read books. Other people can only give you your first books or recommend books to you, but you have to feel what is inspiring you and how you get the motivation to read more. So that's just about it.
Okay, if you hate to read, then you have not found the right book. Quoted by one of the great authors of this generation, J.K. Rowling. So, which type of genre would be great for young children, according to you? And can you tell some fantastic books that would be great if they were to read books from that particular genre?
Okay, so personally, for me, if I were to recommend books for young children, like I'm assuming you mean below the age of 13 or 14, so I would definitely recommend something which is light. Like nowadays, fantasy and adventure and roguelike fiction is all in the rage. Like people like reading Hunger Games and Maze Runner. But for children below that age, I feel it's something like you should go in for Journey most certain. Like I was reading that for so long in my life and I really, really liked it. It's funny and the stories are not boring. It's not completely for kids. You understand it, the vocabulary is pretty good and the books are short, not too long. And there are long books as well, so you can choose which you want to read. So it's really interesting. Other than other than that, probably Enid Blyton books. Those are really nice. Like Enid Blyton writes in a really, really interesting style. Just amazing. Those are the two things I'd recommend.
Okay, thank you so much for your recommendations of these genres. I've also reviewed Journey Most Written books on my channel. My first video was based on that only.
Yeah.
So, many people say, what do you learn from fictional books? They are so boring. They do not even teach us any life lesson. So, is this statement true according to you?
First of all, it is not true for 99% of the books. Sometimes there are some books out there which are absolutely like you don't like the story. So they add like very little value to your life. But I completely disagree with this statement because, first of all, we read fiction to escape from reality. Because if we do want to know about the world, there are encyclopedias and factual books out there. Why do we want to go into a world which we know nothing about? Like, why would we want to read Harry Potter? It's simple. We are hungry for a story and we want to escape the reality of this world. So, fictional books teach you a lot about, like, say, for example, camaraderie. Like in the Maze Runner or Harry Potter, you can see how they all mourn for the death of their friends throughout the entire series. You can see how they come together and overcome obstacles. Throughout you can see how people come together and end up being closer than anything. In some books you can even see how people are polar opposites and come to know more about each other. So it's all about, like, fictional books induce only feelings into you and you can push those feelings into yourself or into real life. It depends upon that. Factual books are like you can use them in a lecture or a theory, so they just straight up come out. Like if you're reading Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, all the values you learn in there are said by a great individual. So you can easily go around quoting it to your friends, like he said this and he said that. But in fictional books, it just shows you like how you can be good to your friends and kind to your friends and know that say you should not take things for granted, that type of stuff. So basically, they instill values in you as opposed to knowledge in you. That's my take on this.
Wow. So if you don't know, Genius Apple is in 10th grade and he still manages time to upload a video every single week. He also manages time to read books. And obviously, he doesn't have much time because he has to focus more on his studies. So how do you manage time?
Okay, so there's a very, very simple solution for that. No distractions. Like, I'm not on Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or all of those other sites. The only sites I am on are YouTube for my YouTube channel and Discord for my YouTube channel. These are the two places I actually work on, and those are both for my YouTube channel. And not on any extra social media sites or like getting SMSs from friends and all. If you want to talk to your friends, go in real life and meet them, or at the worst case, you can just simply WhatsApp them in the current times. But you just need to cut out all the distractions. Like when you're studying, make sure no one's disturbing you. When you're making a video, make sure no one's disturbing you. At all times, if you just cut out the distractions, you have plenty of time. And at the end of the day, don't waste time. Like if you have free time on your hand, just make half of the video right now or set up for the video that you're going to make in the evening. If you have a time slot, like what I usually do is when my classes finish, I have some time in between until I have to go to study. So at that point, I know I can't make the video, but I can set up a few things. So I start shifting the tables and adding the lights and adding the cameras so that you can just, so when I come on the allotted time for making the video, I can just start right away, like hit the record button because everything is already set up. So that's just basically how you time chunk everything and manage your time.
Okay, wonderful tip to all others, and I hope this tip would be helpful to all other people who are in 10th grade or above. So, how were you feeling when you got to know that you were selected among the top 100 finalists of the Global Book Community Awards 2020 competition? Did you register for the competition, or did the host of the competition found your channel and selected you? And can you also tell us what had happened after you were selected among the top 100 finalists?
Okay, so first of all, to the answer of your first question, that how I felt when I was selected for that, what basically happened was it was early in the morning, around like maybe 4:30 or 5, and I was sleeping. So I was going to get up at like 5:30 or something, but my mother and my father come into the room and they are like, "Look, you got selected for this." And I was like, I'm awake and I'm just pop out. I'm like, "That's awesome, that's amazing." And I was like all jumping around the house and I'm like, "Yes, that's amazing, it's perfect." As for how I registered for the competition, it wasn't anything like that. Some people out there who really liked my channel and used to watch my channel, they nominated me for the Global Book Community Awards. I had absolutely nothing to do with this, hence why I was surprised that day. Because I didn't know anything about this, and behind the works, I just got an email saying that I was selected in the top 100 finalists. And I had told nobody about it, no one knew about it, not even my own family knew about this thing existing. But someone out there nominated me, and I did get selected. So after I was selected in the 100 finalists, it was basically a round based competition. So the first round was just getting nominated and being selected after the judges review your channel or your blog, whatever. The second round was a little more intricate. What you had to do was, first of all, you had to speak to the judges and make a video for them discussing about your channel. This wasn't really revealed to the public, this was just for the judges to judge you on. But what was revealed to the public was the fact that they had to vote for you to reach the number one spot. And I was like, okay, now my community has to help me out here. And I reached out to everyone in the Genius Apple community. And I'm like, I need all of us to do this together. And we did. In our category, the one in which we were selected for, we came first, easily. Obviously, when I have the Genius Apple community with me, I'm not coming second. First all the time. And we got actually the most number of votes. So it was just absolutely amazing and it was a wonderful experience.
I still remember on that day when you recorded the video to vote for you. I told my mother that you're gonna vote this person and you're gonna vote this person with two accounts.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you
So
so much.
I forced my mother to
like
vote for
like
you.
there you go, like for people like you, that's why we won, like as a team. That was just amazing.
Yeah. I voted for you to in for it from two accounts.
Awesome, that is.
That was just a big achievement. Your family might be so proud of you that you came on the newspaper. I believe that you came on the newspaper. Did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I did.
Yeah. So how are you feeling when you came on the newspaper?
Again, it was something I had no idea about. So again, it was a similar reaction. Me just being extremely happy. Like I do read the newspaper and it comes, so I read like mostly the highlights. So when I reached one part, I'm like, wait, no, that's me. No, that's me. That isn't right. And I check it, like I double check it. I'm like, is this some kind of trick or something? It was just an amazing. It was just an amazing experience. Again, just amazing.
So, as you're a bookworm, have you ever met some of authors of some particular books? And can you tell me how did you felt when you met them?
Okay, now this is a funny story I haven't told anyone actually. So I actually went to meet Ruskin Bond and I wanted to meet him. So I went from my location over off to where he lives, and we drove all the way. It was like super far away, and we reached there. And that day we came to know that it was a Saturday. So we came to know that every Saturday he goes to the place we just came from, to a bookstore there to sign some books or something. And we had traveled the whole day to reach there, and all we got to see was his empty house. And I was this close to meeting it. I was like, no, this isn't right. And by the time we came back, it was late night, and he probably must have returned. So no, I haven't met any actual authors. Though my mother has written her own two books and worked in co-authored many other books as well. So I do live with her. So that can be counted as something, I guess.
I think one of the books is Kiss of the Wildflower, right?
Yes, that's one of the
And
books.
the other one, I think, is The Woman That I Am.
The woman that I am, she has co-authored it. She's a part of that book. Another book she's written is about rewriting nursery rhymes and all the rhymes in the old stories. Those kind of like Cinderella. Take for example, Cinderella. She's tried to explain it in a different way. And is it a good story for children or a bad story for children? So obviously, I'll give you the link and you can put it in the description. So that's just as easy as that.
Okay, as you have told in many of your videos that you love playing sport, and can you give us some information on this, like basketball, football, squash? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my childhood was all like I used to love playing all sports. Like, luckily enough for me, we had access to quite a lot of sports. So I grew up playing mainly basketball and going for a lot of swimming. I never used to play cricket or like football because I never really liked them very much. Like those were the common games, and I like doing something a little different. So later on, when I grew up, I took an interest in squash because again, it was a game which no one used to play. Like I used to tell my friends, I play squash, and so they used to go, what is squash? Then I had to explain it to them, like you take the ball, you hit on the wall. So I started going for like there was a squash court nearby, so I started going every evening, and then I got selected for the nationals twice. So that was another amazing experience. Like we traveled overnight in a bus, me and my friend, and we reached there, we played, we came back, we met so many people. Absolutely thrilling experience. Along with that, later on, since this current pandemic happened, the squash courts, being an enclosed area, were quite like they were just shut down, all of them, and no one used to come there because they were all closed and there used to be like no social distancing. Now, recently, I started playing some tennis because I saw there were a few courts nearby which used to be completely empty. Like, no one used to come there. So, me and some of my friends, we used to just keep playing there, and I started learning over there as well, watching some videos, and maybe even some, like, my father used to play tennis. So, he was teaching me. My friend who used to play tennis, he was teaching me. So, that was another game I learned. Absolutely amazing. I had professional help on squash, but no professional help in tennis.
Wow, that's just amazing. There's a tennis court probably near my cricket academy. So I also
Okay, okay.
I also see the tennis court, but I never go there and play there because I'm too afraid of playing in that tennis court because obviously it's
Okay.
COVID. Yeah. So I would like to add one more question here. You have collaborated with one more person before who is Bookshot, I think. You have
Yeah.
collaborated with her in two videos. So you also said in your some previous videos that you talked to other content creators. So can you tell me how did you talk to those content creators?
Okay, so first of all, what actually happened was Bookshot had sent a few of us a message, and she was like that she's doing a collection of many different Indian booktubers, and she wanted me to be a part of it. So I'm like, sure, I'm gonna do that. And when that actually happened, so we had to all send a clip of talking about our channel and the books that we were reading. So we were just supposed to do that, but we did get into like a little call and we spoke to each other a little bit and how it was going to happen. Then down in the comments, of course, we were like talking to each other. Overall, another amazing experience. This YouTube journey has brought me lots of experiences, I tell you that. Just awesome.
Amazing, fantastic. Thank you so very much, Genius Apple, for coming on this channel. And I really hope many people might be inspired to read books. So that is it for this video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please click on the like button, and the red button is waiting for you down there to be turned into gray. Share this video with your friends. Till then, goodbye. Thanks for watching.